27-yard run.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Lit Medallion, the Thanksgiving edition. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving yesterday. Got to spend some time with friends and family. And remember, even if you don't, you're not alone. There's people out there that'll talk to you. So just remember that. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone. Hey, and more importantly, don't be afraid to send somebody a message. Even if it's a simple text saying, "Hey, happy Thanksgiving, hope you're doing well." It's important. This time of year, that's important. It's not what this video is here for, but I just thought I'd get my PSA message out and just say, hey, hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Tell me what you had for Thanksgiving. Comment down below. Tell me what you had. I had the traditional, went to a restaurant instead this year, but they serviced the traditional, so it was kind of nice. Had turkey, white meat, dark meat, right? No bones, no cleanup. I had stuffing. It had potatoes. It had cranberries. It had butternut squash, right? Kind of their version of the sweet potatoes. But it was good. It was very good. Very good. It was nice, relaxing. The waiter was happy that I said, hey, thank you for working today. He said, thank you for acknowledging it. I think that really set his day off, right? The proper way, right? It was the end of the day, went in late. So I think knew he was going to make good money, but still, he was happy that I think someone acknowledged that he was working. So anyway, let's get back to the Roadrunners. We host UTEP. What did last week's game against Rice tell you? I'll tell you what it told me. This team's taking no prisoners. I think this team wants to finish this season, and I use the term finish, out in style. Now, they may not win them all. But I think this team does not want to lose. I've alluded to it earlier. There's just something about this team. They just win, right? Look at the Houston game. That still stings. That right there is probably keeping UTSA from being the top G5 school right now. Because with Texas, we had them till we lost 2 offensive linemen. And I say that at the bottom of my heart. Because we were winning 17-7 until those 2 guys went down. And at the half, I believe we were tied or we were up. I forget it, but we ended up losing 41-20 when we started getting depleted. Dadrian and Danye went out. It just turned into a war of attrition. We couldn't pad our lead. We were padding our lead until we lost those 2 offensive linemen. I'm telling you, this team's special. Things happen, though. So you've got to overcome, adapt, and conquer. I think they've adapted. I think they're at the conquering phase. Now let's talk about UTEP. We beat UTEP in every statistical category. Rushing, passing, total defense, points scored, points allowed, right? The one area where they have it over us is passing yards allowed. They've allowed fewer passing yards. Now, that seems kind of weird, right? You would think, how does this happen? How does UTEP play better pass defense than we do? Thing is, they don't. We have taken teams that run the football, turned them into passing teams. UTEP doesn't run the ball. We run it better than they do. Yeah. Now, I know Frank helps with that. I do know Frank helps with that. But if you look at Brendan Brady, our leading rusher stats, their leading rusher stats, he's better. More carries, but still same yards, right? So everything tells me that this defense has offenses figured out, and we pick our poisons like Army. Do you want to lose to Army because they can run the football, or do you want them to pass? I think you want them to pass. Now, they passed it prolifically against us. And when I say prolifically, I mean, come on. They made like 4 long passes. That was it. But that's what you want from them. And then once we made that adjustment, boom. Right? We ended up winning the game. And then we used our talent in overtime, size, speed, and took it to them. Right? What do you expect from UTEP? One thing that's perplexing about UTEP is that they actually beat FAU with a walk-off field goal, right? Last-second field goal. So I don't know what to really make of UTEP, but here's what I do know. Conference rival, last time officially playing. Sure, we'll probably play them again. But what's going to happen? They're going to come in fired up. Come to San Antonio, Thanksgiving weekend, wear us out, and hang that first conference loss on us. So we've got to be guarded against that. I don't know if they've got it in them. Now, I predicted a struggle win against Rice, but I couldn't have been more wrong. So I don't know what to think about UTEP. I was fully prepared to come in and say, man, we might be laughing through this game in the third quarter. Right? We may see Justin Rodriguez get his second and third touchdowns in his career or this season. I don't know if he's had more touchdowns. I believe that's his first career touchdown. So we may see him getting his second and third. I'm serious. Because they really don't have that good of a run defense and they don't score. They're not prolific. So we may stop them a lot and have the ball a lot. That's where you want to grind them down. I don't want a 45-7 type game. To be honest with you, I would love a 24-3. Just hear me out. We drive the ball like we did against La Tech for 11 minutes and kick a field goal. Oh, so what if we get a touchdown? Okay, we get a touchdown. That's fine. But say we keep the ball for 7-8 minutes at a time and get field goals. Then get the ball right back. I would love Jared Sackett to have 7 field goals. I'm not kidding. In a win? Yeah, it's got to be a win. Think about it. Beat them 21-3 or something with all field goals. That would be awesome. I would love to see it. That's the kind of game I want our Roadrunners to have this weekend, because that's the kind where you just kind of get back to the huddle. You know, not necessarily huddle up, but you get the line of scrimmage. You're just kind of chilling around, right? You're looking, you're communicating. You don't get in your stance yet. And then when you got 10 seconds on the play clock, you get in your stance, get ready, see what they're doing, check off, whatever, and then hike the football, right? Hand it off to Brady, hand it off to Barnes, hand it off to Smith. I don't know if I think Smith's still struggling right now. I don't know if we'll see him. I haven't heard anything otherwise, haven't seen anything otherwise where he's going to be back on the field. But then we'll see Justin Rodriguez out there a lot. I think it'd be pretty cool to see him in the second quarter. Do you think he's earned it? Serious question. Do you think he's earned it that if we're in a 14 whatever game that we put Justin out there when we're like inside the 10? Here's the question. Do you think Kavorian would be mad about it? Do you think Brendan Brady? Because that's who you've got to worry about. You don't really have to worry about Brendan Brady because he's out of eligibility. But do you think they would worry if we put in Justin Rodriguez? Do you think you would have to worry about egos? You know, being a coach is managing egos also, right? Think about it. We're inside the 10, first and goal from the 8. Bring in Justin Rodriguez, second quarter, something like that. And see what happens. See big on big. First on first, except for Justin. See what happens. Here's my take on it. I've been thinking about this. He's like our Rudy, apparently, right? And if he proves that he can score in the second quarter with first team, right? What does that say to other walk-ons? What does it say for recruiting overall, especially a trailer coach team? You know when all the players get playing time. I know we have the Mayfields, Taylors that are always out there. You have to have those defensive type captains, right? But if you show that you got a rotation, if you show you've got a scheme that people can get out there, right? Did any of y'all know Tyler Monkey when I interviewed him? Really know? I didn't know who he was until I was introduced to him and said, hey, can you work with him? Can you give him some advice? Can you just share some life experiences with him, see if you can help him, right? And that's what I did. And then I come to find out he made, like I said in the video, he made the last official tackle of the conference championship game, right? He did. And then they had 2 more Hail Marys that fell incomplete, right? That's what I said. But if he doesn't make that tackle, if he doesn't shoestring that tackle, we might lose that game because they're way closer. So that's kind of my thing about how Traylor gets guys into the game, how Traylor gets players into position and gets them ready. And the thing that matters the most, and we all know it, is recruiting. Second most important thing is coaching kids up. You can coach kids up all you want, but if you're not a good recruiter, you're going to have equally poor results. So that brings me back to the FAU versus UTEP game. So FAU versus UTEP, how did UTEP win that game? Well, I'm going to tell you. They are now slowly losing the Lane Kiffin effect, right? Kiffin's been at Ole Miss 2 years now. FAU's only slowly gone down, right? Slowly. They're returning it back kind of what they were before Lane Kiffin, right? Well, actually, I think they were good for before Lane Kiffin. I think he took the job when somebody else moved on. But it's not like they're Western Kentucky, where you had the Jeff Brom eras. Now you got these guys that are, and it still doesn't make any sense how they're losing games. But they're at least performing at a high level. They have no defense. But FAU makes no sense because they've got talent on all sides of the ball. They were a big football team. They can block. So is UTEP a big football team? I'd have to look at their stats of their players, but I'm not going to go that deep just yet on these analysis because I really don't want to go past 15, 20 minutes too often, right? So what do I think is going to happen with UTEP? Well, how do you read UTEP? So they beat New Mexico State. They beat FAU. So they've had their way with the Florida schools. They went and conquered Florida in Conference USA. And Charlotte. They didn't beat Middle Tennessee State. So what struggle would you have against Middle Tennessee State? Cunningham, the QB, right? Just like Frank. He's not as elusive as Frank, but man, he brings his A game and he runs around. He's got that leg brace on and he don't care. That kid does not care about his own well-being. And those are dangerous quarterbacks to play against, right? Because you swear you've got him squared up. He'll wait till the last moment. Boop, he ducks underneath you. Or he might not duck underneath you. And next thing you know, you get a targeting call, right? Kind of what happened with us, right? It happens. But here's going to be my official prediction. 31-10. That's my official prediction. 21-point win. I kind of alluded to it when I said 7 field goals. Wouldn't it be cool? I think, to be honest with you, I would love to see us grind out a game like that. And hear me out. And hear me why. Because we've got one more school that we've got to worry about in the conference championship game. And I've been on other message boards, and they're salty AF about us hosting a regular season trophy. And they're like, that makes no sense. Look at them. I wouldn't host that. That doesn't mean anything. Well, you know what? The conference thinks it means something. If the conference thinks it means something, then it means something to us. Now, I made the joke. It would be just like Conference USA to repurpose the East and West Division trophies that they already had made, right? They probably made them in bulk and then just put a new thing. They had to get rid of them, right? So they would it surprise you that that's what they did? Because they have to have at least 2. Right? One for the East, one for the West. And then when the schools bolted so quickly and we came with no divisions, well, we got to do something with those trophies. That's okay. We're regular season champs. Trophies matter. Plaques matter, right? Championships matter. I talked about us possibly being the best G5. To be honest with you, use Boise State as the perfect example. Conference championships matter more than their BCS appearances. Hear me out. It sounds weird, but what have they done with their BCS appearances? I'll let you think about that. Do you think their facilities are anything great? I mean, you're talking you're talking $20 million payouts, $12 million payouts. What do they know with their facilities? They still can't attract a coach. That's why I say conference championships matter, because you have to win over your opponents and take their recruiting away to put yourself just that little bit higher, right? They were winning under Chris Peterson. They were winning conference championship, 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 and they were getting kids who maybe couldn't qualify for the Pac-12. See, that's been kind of the joke about it, right? Was the kids who couldn't qualify for the Pac-12 went to Utah or Boise State, right? Kind of where they went. If you look at the kids, a lot of them from the West Coast couldn't qualify for Pac-12. They went to Boise State. Hey, that aside, college is here to educate kids, straight up. I'm not a big, you got to have a certain GPA to get in college. No, you just have to have the money, the means, and the willingness to stay in college by getting the grades to stay in college. I mean, you got to graduate high school. Well, duh, right? I mean, come on. But still, that's me and my college take. Leave that alone. Be it as may. Let's see the Roadrunners get a 31-10 victory. Let's see Sackett put a lot of field goals up, right? Is he in his final year? I think he's probably got one more. He should have one more year. Let's count this out. So he's got a COVID year. So he kicked for us in 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Does he get a 24 for us? He still might set all the UTSA records at kicking. He would have had he stayed. Oh, absolutely. He's awesome at it. Anyway, hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Let's see how this game plays out. Drop your prediction in. I got this video up here to let me know what you think. Give me your prediction. Give me a prediction. Like, comment, subscribe. Find friends that like this channel. If they don't like this channel, find new friends and stay liking the channel. Anyway, it's all out there for the Roadrunners. I will see you guys in section 110, right there by the dinner triangle, as I like to call it. Ding, 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 ding. Ring the bell. The triangle of toughness. See you guys. Peace out.